Ladies and gentlemen, I request you to please drop your contact details at CollabNet stall that is right outside this hall. They have a raffle out of which we're going to pick up a lucky winner at 4 p.m. and the winner gets a Eco.5. So we have a lot of prizes throughout the day, so please do make sure that you're very, very active in all the quizzes, social media as well, and as well as at the contest that we're having at the stalls. Also, at the end of the day, we have our panel discussion, and the topic for that is the role of leadership in DevOps. So we have our eminent speakers who will be joining us for the panel discussion. So if any of you have any questions for this particular topic, the role of leadership in DevOps, I request all of you to please drop in your questions at Excellentro stall, that is also right outside the hall. Please drop your questions there, and we'll ask our panelists to address your questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. Our next speaker for the day is currently the Global Community Ambassador and Region Head Asia Pac for DevOps Institute. He's committed to connect the humans of DevOps and modern IT to advance the skills, knowledge, ideas, and learning of the DevOps community at global scale. And today, he's going to talk about the multidimensional professionals powering cloud and DevOps adoption. So without much further ado, please put your hands together and help me welcome Mr. Dheeraj Nayal.
The hashtag is DOIS19, not DOIS 2019. Please do that.
So the correct hashtag is DOIS19. So I think it has been mentioned in multiple places. You can track the same as well. So once again, very warm welcome. And from my perspective, I would be focusing on very significant factor the previous speakers has been talking about is the human factor. And really welcome all the new attendees who have joined again this year, as well as me coming back again this year together with Excellentro. So certainly also welcome all the speakers and all the sponsors which has been able to put together this extravagant show. And also I think this year we had this divine sponsorship of Ganesh ji coming together on the Ganesh Chaturthi close-up day. So certainly the God is also blessing us with this divine presence as well. So to start with, just to give a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Dheeraj Nayal. I'm the Global Community Ambassador at DevOps Institute. Very much active at various local and international events. And more or less, I'm a human of DevOps, coming together from where you have been coming, I mean, right from the crowd, and making sure that all these skills, knowledge, ideas, learning which we imbibe as part of our own continuous learning, it can be shared with the wider audience as well. So very much continuous learner and DevOps enthusiast by heart. So talking about more or less, since we are running a bit on the time side as well, so we'll skip the questions part at the end of the session, and we can have that conversation during the break as well. So talking about some of the agenda which I would be covering during the session would be about just a brief about DevOps Institute. Also one of the things about our recently launched skill framework, what are the aspects of it, how it's contributing towards the community. We'll also be shedding light some of the key initiatives, because as our mission is to advance the humans of DevOps globally. So what are the key initiatives which we are trying to bring together, which helps the community overall. Talking about the upskilling DevOps, so how these multidimensional professionals, what are the key attributes, some of the key insights around the same as well. Concluding it at the end of the session, and we'll also have a special announcement to share with you along with some of the aspects of the membership. So just to give you a brief about DevOps Institute and what we do as an association. So we are the world's fastest and leading member-based DevOps association. And like I said, our mission is to advance the human factor in DevOps. So very much personal transformation and the journey which each individual goes through of learning various aspects in his part of his own transformation learning journey. We also have specific professional DevOps certifications which are being rendered through our registered education partners. Excellentro is our premier educational partner in India as well. We also have created a continuous learning library with various thought leaders, subject matter experts coming together to share all the experiences, stories, case studies, all together concise in a beautiful manner available to all the members for free. In terms of some of the quantified numbers, we already have around 30,000 plus qualified professionals, which are all across the globe. And we also have a huge partner network of around 200 global registered education partners, which are helping the community professionals to get upskill. We'll also shed light on our annual upskilling survey, which is also the world's unique and the only of its kind of talking about the state of enterprise DevOps skills. And like I said, I mean, it's a very open go-to hub of growing continuous learning where all the members get access to all part of it. So I was mentioning about the skill framework. So skill stands for the skills, knowledge, ideas, and learning. So each of the individual have their own learning journey, and it's very personal. So the way I am absorbing various aspects of these domains, it would be different from how you are imbibing as part of it. But how to make it very relatable and how to make it very human-centered, that's why we conceptualize this SKIL framework, because there are different aspects of it. So talk about skills which leads to a career growth. So the medium could be various certifications, professional certifications which are there. The mediums could be various learning path, job boards, and it's not exhausted. So it's not an exhaustive list, and you can have your own roadmaps, learning maps being drawn out, which reflects on your own learning transformation journey as well. And then we also talk about the knowledge. So there are various insights that are available either to the research reports, talk about ebooks, online mediums, articles, and then of course the whole idea is to spark innovations. So how the innovation starts is through experimentation. How you are able to relate it to various forums with events like this, virtual skill ups, which is primarily our flavor of meetups in which different ideas are being shared with different groups of peers and colleagues coming together as part of different user groups. And of course, like I said, the learning has to be continuous. So it's not a learning which happens more like a notion that it comes in a box, but it always has to be sustained. So that has been a commitment when we launched this human-centered skill framework early this year. Now talking about the second edition of our 2020 upskilling survey. So the survey has already been launched on 19th of August at DevOps World, Jenkins World in San Francisco. So you can visit our website, submit your submissions, because the whole idea is to give it back to the community. So very focused on the state of DevOps skill sets, and it's the second annual survey which we have been doing, and it will measure all the trends and progress of DevOps skills development, which are building upon the successful survey which we did last year as the benchmark. So as part of our key initiatives, that how we have been driving the community and developing the community behavior as part of it, we also recently joined the Continuous Delivery Foundation. So the Continuous Delivery Foundation is the part of the Linux Foundation projects, and they are working as serving as a vendor-neutral home of many of the fastest-growing projects for continuous delivery, which includes Jenkins, JenkinsX, Spinnaker, Tecton, and we are really thrilled to join many of the elite enterprises, which are also the pioneers and driving the overall open source adoption as part of it. So Capital One is also the member along with all the unicorns, pioneers, Netflix, CloudBees, Google, many of the members coming together. And the whole idea is to give it back to the community as part of different open source project. So now talking about the main content around the upskilling DevOps. So when we talk about upskilling DevOps, so there is a famous author called Peter Senge, and he wrote in a beautiful book called The Fifth Discipline, in which he talks about the 5 disciplines of a learning organization. And he quotes very effectively that system thinking is the discipline of seeking holes. So when we talk about system thinking, I mean, IT as a whole comes across a system of systems. So we have the agile methodology as part of it. Then we have the CI/CD pipeline, in which you can also see as part of the value stream various ITSM processes which are also working in conjunction as part of it. So talk about the service strategies, talk about the service design, service transition, and then at the end of the value stream, look at the SRE coming together, including the service operation as well. But the whole idea that system thinking requires us to see this as a whole, which has been elaborated by Peter Sench in his 5-discipline book as well, is as of now, we are organization of the specialists. And that's why, Topo was mentioning about only few of the full stack engineers which are available, because most of the professionals which are there are working more as a specialist. And that is why the system thinking requires those specialists to become multidimensional professionals. So a journey which is more like a continuous learning in which from an I-shaped or a specialist, they are becoming a T-shaped professional. So the top of the T is a broad general knowledge, the skill sets which you need, which makes you a bit more multidimensional as compared to the specialist you are, so that even if you are not a specialist, you are still able to work in conjunction with other teams and other roles. And that is why everyone in DevOps must have these broad skills as part of their top of the T. But which skills are necessary? So that being that as our core objective, we launched this upskilling survey in 2019, and that's where I would be shedding some lights on the key insights which we got, which kind of gives a clear picture around the multidimensional and what are the key attributes as part of it. So we launched the survey in end of 2018, and the report came out early 2019. We got various submissions all across the globe, and some of the key attributes which we realized and we got is there are 3 specific key categories in which all role types should have these skills as part of it. So, and all these skills are in balance. We talked about the automation, we talk about the process, and the soft skills. So the soft skills are equally important as part of their automation and process skills. And that is why automation definitely makes DevOps a success, but provided the process skills and soft skills are also being imbibed as part of the professionals. And that's where those multidimensional attributes kicks in. And talking about further, so IT operation and security are also the key functional skills. And if I break it down, which are the must-have and nice-to-have DevOps skills which are considered important and not important, is basically the 4 core skills which are categorized specifically. So there are soft skills, there are process skills, there are technical skills, there are functional skills. And if we have to break down on how the insights being rendered and what are the key attributes which we found, is the process skills and knowledge which are there from each section within the enterprise, right? From the leadership side to the managers, IT leaders side, as well as to the individual contributors. Each recognize that the process skills and the knowledge skills are equally important. And that is why from the soft skill side as well as the functional knowledge side, these are the key attributes which are required of being a multidimensional professional. So these are the more of a quantified nature, which is also explained. So the overall report is around 50 pages, with much of the insights which are available. And this kind of showcase that how these functional skills, soft skills, process skills, automation skills are equally in balance with various attributes of the professional and the transformation which we are seeing within the professional and the enterprises. And when we talk about the process skills, so this is quite interesting considering there has been some of the processes which has been there for a long period of time, and then there are some of the process skills which have come off late. But if you look at the top process skills which are there, so SDLC definitely is there as part of it, but also the understanding of knowing the process flow and analysis, which is also the part of the value stream mapping. So there was a workshop yesterday as well. Some of you have attended that workshop as part of it, but the understanding of having the process flow and analysis is equally important. And then of course, Agile has been there and delivering various aspects as part of the real outcome to the teams and enterprises as well. But talking about the core concepts within the testing side, the TDD talking about the methods as part of it, and then of course the system thinking, where everything is seen more like a blueprint and you understand that how the product is being ideated and delivers as a value to the customer. So the most interesting and I find it very fascinating because it categorically relates with the human side of DevOps is the soft skills. And the overall response which we receive from each segment, from the leadership side, the IT leaders and managers, is the idea of collaboration and cooperation. And that's where the breaking of silos, having people work together more in conjunction comes in. But one of the things, if you look at down the slide about the visionary and risk-taking. So from the individual side as well, so each of the enterprises expect an individual to be an entrepreneur as well, having that vision to align their personal goal with the business goals of the enterprises. And if they are working in conjunction and tandem, then certainly you are on the right path of having those multidisciplinary skills and attributes which are contributing towards the business goals and objective. So that is why these soft skills are equally important as part of it. And that's why in this year's survey, we'll be diving a bit deeper onto the same segment as well. Now talking about the functional skills, where the automation part kicks in. So of course the infrastructure as a code, all talking about the IT operation, IT ops, which are being part of it. But one of the things which is also from the compliance side is still the governance, risk, and audits. The skills and attributes are still considered low as compared to other attributes. And then this is where the security features, the compliance features are getting gradually accepted and adopted, with enterprises like Capital One paving the way of better understanding and giving the blueprint of better adoption as well. So finally talking about the more technical skills, where all the technical skills are being imbibed. So definitely from the cloud side, and that's where this year theme of this summit was also the DevOps and cloud adoption. And significantly it was validated in our survey as well, because talking about all the AWS, Azure, Google, the maximum skills which we see from each of the professionals is coming from the cloud itself, even in the DevOps environment. And that's why the analytical experience and knowledge along with the user interface driven attributes are equally important. So that's why if you look at the overall functional process, technical process skills, all these skills are equally important to have that multidisciplinary aspect for each of the professional. So now looking at the multidimensional roles and what's trending in the enterprises. So even if you look at all the recruiting websites which are there worldwide, the top 3 roles, you will always find DevOps being hired extensively in all across the region. And that's why the key roles or the key areas around DevOps engineer is still very debatable, because each of the enterprises have their own requirement and there is still not much standardization that has come in. And that's why it's very much segmented in different roles, with DevOps engineers still picking up in terms of the hiring and recruiting trends. And it equally reflects of how an individual has to grow as part of their own learning and transformation journey. So if I have to conclude, like I said, the report is available in the website to be downloaded for free. You can read it much extensively. It's a 50-pager and gives you much more detail. But if I have to look at the major focus and the major key insights which we got is about from the functional skill side, the IT ops, the AD&D, security, quality, and testing together make up DevOps. So there is no specific section or domain skills which you require, but need those broad set of skills that kind of imbibes or touches on these aspects. But on the same side, like I mentioned about the soft skills and technical skills are quite important, but they're also not just enough if it's not happening in conjunction with automation. So it has to happen in a conjunction so that both the automation, soft skills, as well as the technical skills are working in tandem from the individual as well as from the enterprise team side. And companies are cultivating DevOps team within now, and that's where the culture becomes very important, because these teams has to grow together, they have to learn together, engage with the peers so that they understand the pain, they understand the success, failures, all together as part of the teams, working in alignment with the business goals and objective. So at the bottom line is to become much more expandable, become much more multidisciplinary, and become much more T-shaped, because that's the requirement which is being seen right from the recruiting trends as well. So that was the conclusion that was being part of the survey. So like I said, you can download the copy from our website, and we also have a separate postcard as part of the 2020 upskilling survey, which is currently open. You can submit your score as well. So you can move to the Excellantro booth right outside. You will also receive our world famous socks, which has been trending all across the globe in various forums as well, along with a special set of instructions which will make you eligible to receive a special prizes as well. So certainly make the use of it as well. But also, like I mentioned during the start of my session, we also have a very interesting announcement which is being dedicated to the global community which we have. So we have a very special announcement as part of a declaration which we made for the 10th December 2019, which will be an annual event, is the Global Skill Up Day. So a Global Skill Up Day is essentially is the idea of is to advancing the humans of DevOps and IT community, which in a full day virtual event that would be providing a bite-sized opportunity to learn how to do something related to the key concepts of DevOps and digital transformation. So focusing on the key aspects of the know-how, how to implement various concepts which help you or help any of the individuals and enterprises in their own transformation journey. So the registration would be completely free, and you will be able to access it virtually online, and it will be live streamed on 10th of December 2019. So you can save the date. The registration begins mid-September. So we are very excited to once again share back to the community and bring elite global thought leaders who will be sharing all their experiences, stories, and key concepts that help drive the multidisciplinary attributes within yourself. So just before concluding, like I said, we are a member-driven association. Join the community, engage with various peers, thought leaders, community members. So it's all about you, and we are here to support you to advance your own transformation journey. So with that note, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dheeraj, for that wonderful session. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very important announcement. We have had more than 100 tweets in the last 2 hours since the start of the conference.
Wow.
But yeah, that's a great number, but many of you have been using the wrong hashtag.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of you have been using hashtag DOIS 2019, hashtag DevOps India Summit. Please remember the correct hashtag is hashtag DOIS19, not 2019, it is only DOIS19. So please do keep all the tweets coming in. You know, we have had so many people tweeting here. We have Nilesh, Karthik, I don't know if you guys are here. So these guys are the most active users on Twitter today. So it's great. I really want all of you to keep tweeting today. We want the number to go really, really high. At the end of the day, we want to have at least 1,000 tweets. I'm sure you can do that. We have more than 300 people out here. So I think this is something that all of you can do, right?
So we have a goal we can achieve together, right? So let's do it.
Yeah, let's trend us today. We need to keep this hashtag trending the most on Twitter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Dheeraj, you can connect with him offline. We are a little short of time, so now we cannot have the Q&A. So before we move on, can I request Padma Satyamurthy to please join us on stage and felicitate Mr. Dheeraj Nayal with the memento and certificate.
Thank you.
It is a blockbuster. I think that was a good announcement.
Yeah. Thank you.
And one more thing is, we have our poll active for our previous speaker, Mr. Gopinath CH. So request all of you to please go to slido.com on your mobile, choose the room as main hall, all right, and go to the polls section and leave in your feedback for Mr. Gopinath CH. We just had, I think, some people, like 25, 30 people leaving in the feedback, but we have so many people out here, more than 300 people. So please, we would like to have your feedback for each of the sessions that we are going to have throughout the day. So please do go to slido.com with the hashtag DOIS19, choose the correct hall for the presentation and leave in your feedback.